it's Gary Gaz Jackson here. I did a video last week on a book which was the Complete Idiot's Guide to Positive Dog Training. I read it out as a bit of a nursery rhyme for fun, and it was really, I was struggling to comprehend the advice they give in this, and people actually take it seriously. So I was asked a heap of times to be able to do it again, put my opinion in there with it. So I just wanted to go through a few things, what they say on how to stop a dog from jumping up in this guide, which is quite extraordinary that people actually do this stuff. So I'll just go through a few things, what it says in the book, and how to stop the dog from jumping up, and this is the positive training only. Now I'm not having to go at positive dog training, it's just in regards to some of the information they have there, and this is why so many people will fail at teaching a dog to jump up. So as it explains quite clearly, dogs will jump on people when you say, "Oh, it's okay, I love dogs," which will reinforce jumping behaviour. So that's just silly to start off with. The other half will yank the dog down, squeeze his paws until he screams in pain. Now I've never seen that ever with a dog, squeezing paws until the dog screams, or a swift kneeing in the chest where people put the knee up into the dog's chest when they jump up. And you may be tempted to yank the dog down or even yell at him. So they're saying that this is the ways that you don't do it, and obviously all these reactions will in fact reinforce a dog for jumping. So the dog will feel the need to jump twice as many times on you in a submissive and frantic manner. Now this all comes from the book. Trying to appease your anger, increasing the cycle of jumping. So basically they're saying if you try to stop your dog from jumping up, the dog's going to jump on you twice as many times in a more submissive and frantic manner there. And also it says the dog will also decide that you are dangerous because so much punishment happens around you. So where you've corrected the dog down there, that dog's going to jump on you twice as much, but then also be scared of you and run away. And he's going to have fearful biting and extreme shyness. So what is it? Is the dog going to run away because he's scared of you, or is the dog going to jump on you twice as much, or both? That's really weird. So as it clearly explains, if you correct the dog for jumping up, he will jump on you twice as much with fearful biting and shyness, trying to appease your anger. So that's how it explains it. So now here's the step-by-step guide from the Complete Idiot's Guide to Positive Dog Training, how to stop your dog from jumping up, from this book here, and it goes into how to stop dog from jumping up. So I'll just read it off my iPad here. Okay, step 1. You avert your eyes and turn sideways when he's about to jump. So sideways, don't look at him, and basically turn sideways, don't look at him. You will obviously be able to see the sign in his eyes and body that the dog is about to jump up. Now what are those signs, and how does someone who's not a dog trainer even understand those signs? Can you tell the dog's eyes that, hey, I'm just about to jump? So I don't know, they didn't explain that. When the dog jumps, you proceed to turn sideways, which you already have, and deflect the dog, okay? Once he has 4 on the floor, ask him to sit, then reinforce it. Now, they use in this book reinforce a hell of a lot, but they don't tell you how to reinforce it. So, and this is supposed to be a pure positive dog training book, and they're saying reinforce it. So I don't know how to. 4 on the floor, and you know, to me it sounds like a Bogan from Logan or Mount Druitt talking about his Commodore, that 4 on the floor is better than 3 on the tree, which gets to our part 3, which will blow you away. That's when you become a tree stump. Step 2, you walk away slowly, and again you reinforce the dog staying on the ground. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff about reinforcement here. And then you throw Scooby snacks or schmackos, whatever you want to do, on the ground so the dog figures out that it's better down there than up here. So of course most dogs are going to, you know, if they throw food on the ground, dogs are going to go and pick it up. Okay, you play the rev up and cool down game in chapter 10, but unfortunately I've been through chapter 10 in a fine-tooth comb. There is no rev up and cool down game in there, so it must be an imaginary game that you play with your dog. So that's step 2. Are you a bit confused yet? Well, it gets even better. Step 3 is even more confusing. Step 3 is that you become a tree stump. I've got no idea why, but you become a tree stump. You don't look or talk at the dog, you don't push him away, you don't do anything. You just freeze up, you become a tree stump, and that's it. They say a tree stump's not very reinforcing, it's got no eyes, ears, nose, yes, and all that type of stuff. But also, don't confuse the dog that you are not a dead tree stump, because in the healing phase of the book there, it says you've got to convince your dog that you're not a dead tree stump, so the dog can heal, but now they want you to be a tree stump, so the dog will not jump on you, okay? So if that's confusing, it's confusing to me. So you obviously have to convince the dog that you're not a dead tree stump when teaching the heal. If the dog heals around you, it's obviously that he thinks that you're a tree stump, and it's not just a dead tree stump to be able to teach the dog not to jump up. Anyway, I'll just skip over all that, but anyway, you're supposed to be a tree stump of some sort, and then the dog's supposed to not want to jump on you because you're a tree stump, but not a tree stump if you're teaching the heel, I think. All right, step 4. This is interesting. When teaching the dog not to jump up, you now must encourage the dog to jump up. So this whole thing is to teach a dog not to jump up, but now they're saying you've got to teach a dog to jump up, and you command the dog with saying up when he jumps on you. So now, in one session, it's like you've taught the dog to jump up when you're trying to teach the dog not to jump up. Saying up when he jumps up you, pat the dog and murmur good. I don't know why you have to murmur, yell, scream, praise good, but you got to murmur good, and good, okay. Now you must look away and become a tree stump again. This is bloody tree stump. By about now, the dog is going to be clawing, he's going to be clawing the shit out of your back. And the next part is that I don't understand, but when you feel your dog get off, and this is what I lost the plot last time, when you feel the dog get off, you throw a party. Okay, so the dog gets off, you throw a party, probably nothing too fancy, maybe a few close friends and a couple of skanky bitches or something like that, but apparently you throw a party when the dog gets off, then give him lots of attention, tons of food and praise, and they say in the book, repeat it 1 billion times. If you had to do it that many times, I can pretty well safely say your dog's not the sharpest tool in the shed, or he's probably deaf, and I reckon rigor mortis will set in a lot quicker than by the time he figures that one out. So then we get up to step 5. You teach the dog to go visit. Okay, now this is an advanced exercise. The dog goes to the person you point at and lays down. So you point at the person, and the dog's excited to see someone up because he sees someone. He's always jumping on them. So you point to them. The dog runs to that person there, and you teach them to lay down, and they say because laying down is not compatible with jumping up. So this is the next thing, and this is an advanced exercise. This is teaching the dog to do a send out under distractions while the dog's excited, to run out to person he's really excited to see, and then hit the drop command. So that's really an advanced exercise, and all we're trying to do is stop the dog from jumping up, and all we've done is been a tree stump and taught the dog to jump up. So that's about it. So then, and obviously it must be for your own personal amusement to watch, your dog become a speed bump and your guest face plant on the ground. I just wouldn't tell them, otherwise you'd probably end up with a smack in the head or something like that. We'll get on to it. If your dog is still jumping wildly on people coming to the door, make the doorbell the cue to run to his crate and sit and lay down and heavily reinforce it. Okay, so now it's like ding dong and the dog runs away and hides in his crate. I don't understand that. We're trying to teach the dog not to jump up. So now we've taught the dog to jump up. You're a tree stump or you're not a tree stump, and you're teaching the dog to run away and become a speed bump for your guests. So, and this is all part of the step-by-step guide, and it finishes off with heavily reinforce it. Okay, in summary, you teach your dog to jump up, do directional send-outs on people to sit and lay down, so you can teach your dog not to jump up on you. You throw food to the ground and throw a party when he gets off. This is the complete idiot's guide to positive dog training, stopping your dog from jumping. And after all these detailed instructions, I still have absolutely no idea, following these instructions, how to stop a dog from jumping up. And this is why so many people fail at training. There is so much misinformation, and when it's mass-produced like this, and people believe it and do it, they're going to be setting themselves up to fail. So there's other ways of teaching a dog not to jump up, but I wouldn't. This isn't one of them. So anyway, that's the positive guide to jumping up, and I'll probably do another one from the book, maybe on healing or something like that. So just to see the different perspective on healing, and I might even give it a go with the pure positive way of doing it. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I'm Gaz, and that's a minute with Gaz, or 10 minutes with Gaz.